Despite its reputation for being fake, it's still real to me, damn it! Most of the genuinely jaw-dropping stuff you see in and around a WWE ring actually happens for real. For example, when Shane McMahon leaps from a great height, there's no camera tricks there. He just endures intense physical pain in the aid of entertaining a crowd. Plus, I'm fairly certain he wants his kids to watch him die. But not all WWE stunts are quite so authentic. I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, and these are 10 crazy WWE stunts and how they did them. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to stay notified. Ding, ding, done. Number 10. Vince's limo explosion. A pretty easy one to start with. The segment in which Vince McMahon died in a limousine explosion simply switches from a live feed, the camera behind him as he approaches the vehicle, to a pre-recorded one, the wide shot of him opening the door and climbing inside. Simple. Of course, none of this really mattered once the distasteful angle became a mere footnote in the overall story of Chris Benoit's death. Now, we remember it for all the wrong reasons. And Paul London smiling. Number 9. Kane's fireball. The most famous example of a fireball spot would be that time Hulk Hogan did it in a car crash encounter with the Ultimate Warrior. Afterwards, I couldn't tell if he was shocked or angry, probably because he had no eyebrows left. Anyway, Kane got in on the act in 1998, firing into the eyes of China after Triple H ducked out of the way like the hero that he is. Industry insiders tell us that this effect is generally accomplished through the use of flash paper, sheets of nitrocellulose often used by stage magicians. It sounds relatively easy, both to pull off and to get spectacularly wrong. Don't try this at home, kids. Number 8. Paul Bearer and the Concrete Crypt. As you may have already guessed, Paul Bearer didn't meet a grisly end at the Great American Bash 2004. It didn't exactly help that hilarious footage of the spot being rehearsed in an empty arena was leaked prior to the show. Obviously, it was pre-recorded. You can tell by the fact that the shots of Bearer are always close-ups, and there's never one from behind Undertaker's back. Also, had it happened, the police would have had a pretty open and shut murder case. Number 7. The Inferno match. The only way WWE can possibly pull off an Inferno match is to actually surround the ring with fire and actually have part of the loser's body be set ablaze. Probably one of the reasons they don't do it that much, eh? How do they go about ensuring nobody really gets hurt? They use flame-retardant clothing. Hence, it was Kane's sleeved right arm that caught fire in the inaugural bout in '98, and not his bare one on the opposite side. It sounds straightforward, but it does still involve setting someone on f***ing fire. Number 6. Brock and Big Show break the ring. Santa Claus isn't real, pets die, and Brock Lesnar and Big Show didn't break the ring. Sorry. Show revealed a few years ago that the ring was rigged by the production crew to explode the second the duo landed on the canvas. They accomplished this by fitting airbags underneath the apron, the aim being to raise the ring just slightly off the ground for a proper holy moment of impact. It's been repeated twice since then, and the lesson here is that you need at least 700 pounds of man meat to make it work. Man meat. Number 5. Buried alive. Most fans are convinced it involves the use of a secret compartment into which the loser escapes just as the dirt is being piled in, which, actually seems pretty plausible. That would certainly explain why they put a massive mound next to the hole, even in the modern era where most wrestlers favour using the excavator instead of actually getting their hands dirty with a shovel. It's 2018, guys. Machines do everything. This, however, doesn't quite account for how they managed to pull off that hand rising from the grave at the very first Buried Alive match. Perhaps Taker is immortal after all. Number 4. The Undertaker's lightning bolt. The disappointing truth about the time he made Kurt Angle himself at the 2006 Royal Rumble is that, while those of us at home saw electricity beam from his hands, the fans inside the arena merely got a bog-standard pyro effect. Still though, nowadays I'd take that. Then they just overlaid the pay-per-view feed with a spooky special effect. Number 3. hanging Big Boss Man. They don't really show the footage of Undertaker hanging Big Boss Man at WrestleMania 15 for Hell in a Cell montages, do they? I wonder why that might be. The clue here is the repeated shots of Paul Bearer operating the controller to pull up the cell while Taker applied the noose. During this time, you would imagine that the dead man was diligently ensuring that his opponent was safely secured in a harness to which the rope was really connected, and that the noose was only loosely wrapped around his throat. This being WWE, Bossman was, of course, back wrestling a week later. Number 2. Kane's limo accident. If there's one thing Vince McMahon hates, it's nodding because he's weird like that, but also continuity errors. In the build-up, the Big Red Machine smashes one of the back windows and the sunroof as he tries to attack his opponent. These windows are then magically repaired in the shot of the limo hurtling towards its target. We must conclude, therefore, that this stunt involved another pre-recorded clip. I just don't know what to believe anymore. Were Shane's testicles even electrocuted? Number 1. Stone Cold's Forklift Revenge. Remember when wrestling was weirdly obsessed with car-based stunts? You had WCW's monster truck matches, all instant classics of course, WWE with its milk float, and Austin getting run over by Rikishi. Arguably the coolest of these spots, however, came at Survivor Series 2000, when Triple H's car was raised in the air by a forklift-wielding Stone Cold, and then dropped onto the concrete below. Payback's a bitch, eh? The explanation for this one seems, once again, to be that parts of the segment were pre-recorded. Specifically, the close-up shots of the two wrestlers at the beginning and the sounds of Triple H pleading for mercy, which are awfully clear and crisp, given he's nowhere near a bloody microphone. Having gone to such elaborate lengths, you might presume the company would be keen on selling the Cerebral Assassin's injuries in the months ahead. Nope! He was back on Raw a couple of weeks later without a scratch. That's Triple H for you.
Hello there, you've made it all the way to the end of the video, and as part of my designated 18 hours of community service, I'm here to tell you that we have a number of other channels available for you to subscribe to, as well as other slightly, possibly not related videos for you to watch. So please do one of the things to my left or right, otherwise I have to pick up leaves on the roadside.